Are you ready for the best Kansas City Chiefs insight? Welcome to the Chiefs Blitz Podcast, presented by Dave Purdy with Supreme Lending. For your mortgage solutions, call today at 816-405-5831, 816-405-5831. After all, he's pretty good. Here's your Chiefs Blitz host, Nick Athan, with Lou Montagna, Andre Tillman, and Hense Todd.
Welcome to the next edition of Chiefs Blitz, one of the funnest podcasts talking Chiefs football anywhere on YouTube outside of the Kelsey brothers. I'd say we're number 2 at least, for our banter and our wit. Anyway, hey, my name is Nick Athan, former publisher of Oakland Illustrated, for those that remember me back in the day. I am joined by the other senior member, Lou Montagna, Mr. Hense Todd, our producer extraordinaire, and bringing it up and giving us all the smack today, the coach, Andre Tillman. Gents, welcome. Thanks for covering for me on Wednesday. I had some family matters.
No problem.
3 guys in a bar, baby. Always good time.
Yeah, I chimed in at least. That was interesting to listen to you guys and just throw out some nice little one-liner zinger banners, and that was a lot of fun. So, hey,
we thought the teacher was out for the day. Substitute was a little shocked there.
Yeah, the substitute was a little shocked.
Little big brother action.
Hey, you know what it is? I'm a hands-on guy. What can I say? All good. All right,
so before we get out into the sponsors and everything,
yes.
How was everybody's Thanksgiving?
Beautiful day. All were in attendance, all the kids, cousins, wives, significant others. It was a beautiful day, very loud. If you guys would know, classic Italian family, a lot of yelling going on, but all done in good fun. It was restrained. There was no fisticuffs. Nobody got hurt. So yeah, it was a very good day.
That's good. Good to hear. Yeah, quite. We had a Thanksgiving Tuesday night with my mom in Kansas City, and came back home and did Thanksgiving yesterday with the rest of the family down here. And so it was a lot of fun. It was very quiet. Football stunk yesterday. Oh my God, that was just a worthless day of football. But nonetheless, hey, that's not what it's about. It's just part of the day. Great food. My wife is a gourmet cook, so that helps. So I got 2, just like Travis says, 2 turkey dinners this week. So I'm excited. I was very excited about that.
2 turkey dinners.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, I ate nothing but hummus and salads.
Hummus and salad, that was it, huh?
Good for you, Coach.
Yeah, yes, sir. Hummus.
Yeah.
My day was great. The wife and I didn't feel like cooking, so she got it catered. So that was nice. Then what else? We went to the movies.
Can't hide money, guys. Can't hide money. You got people come to the house serving you.
Serving you fresh turkey, fresh chopped turkey.
That's TMZ.
So we went to the
Todd,
movies. So we went to the movies afterwards.
Man.
Yeah, what movie did you go see?
Thanksgiving. It was some little scary movie about Thanksgiving, but it was pretty good. And then we had we was gonna go ice skating, but we'll save that for later today or something.
Impressive.
But everything was great. Everything was great. So we hope everybody that comment, all the guys that's in the Bring It On game. Hope you guys had an excellent Thanksgiving also. So let's go ahead and get right into
Let's get into it.
The sponsors. The first sponsor. Let's go ahead.
All right. Our first sponsor is our good friend Dave Purdy with Supreme Lending. If you're looking to refinance, if you're looking for a new mortgage for a new house, if you're looking for debt consolidation, whatever your needs are, remember 30% credit card rates are still pretty high, even if you got a low mortgage. Give Dave Purdy a call at 816-405-5831. If you want to get some instant analysis, he's got a QR code up there. I'll count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put your camera up there, press it. Goes right to his page. You'll be able to log in, put your information in. Dave will give you a call. You reach him at 816-405-5831 or his email, dave.purdy@supremelending.com. And we chose Dave because we all know Dave is
Purdy
good.
Let's go, Dave.
And Dave was on the show. He even
Dave was on the show.
Impressive.
He was in the bar too.
He was in the bar. Awesome. We love that, Dave. Thank you very much for being our for who's bartending, our first sponsor. Thank you so much.
Okay. So we have Raider week coming up, and what do you guys think about this game? Because this is kind of like after watching that second half of the Chiefs game, it's like, you don't know anymore. You don't know what you're going to get. You don't know what you're going to get anymore. And with that said, man, I just hope they come out here and take this win and get back on track, because it's been a miss and hit every other week. It's something new. So what you got to say about this, Lou? We're going to start off with you.
Well, 3 games in a row, no points in the second half. That I guess that part of it is concerning. The young wide receivers, all the wide receivers continue to struggle. I guess one thing that came out of yesterday's games, Nick, if you watched any of the Detroit Green Bay game, they're kind of making it work with a bunch of rookie second-year receivers. Christian Watson hasn't had, a huge year to date. He was injured early on, but he had a pretty big game yesterday. Jaden Reed, rookie from Michigan State, has come on. So again, you got 2 different teams. I mean, they're not really in the league of the Chiefs, or kind of like where but they're hanging there 5-6. But I guess my point is that you can make it work with young receivers, but when you're an established team, maybe it looks like this, where you don't quite trust them yet. You don't have to put them out there, but it's a 7-game season right now, sitting, near at the top of the league, the AFC. This is where it's got to, we really got to start putting these teams away. There's really no big games left on the schedule. I think pretty much Buffalo might be the only significant, I guess, opponent, if you would. So you just got to take care of business, win some of these games, score some points in the second half. And I think everything will be I don't know about a well-oiled machine, but a much better oiled machine going into the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't want to get too far ahead, because the Chiefs play the Packers, I think, a week from Sunday Night Football in Green Bay. And I don't want to get too far ahead, but you look at that game and, they're not playing they're really not playing for anything. They're not going to make the playoffs, unless they run the table. But Love has looked really, really strong in the last couple of weeks. He's made some plays. Their defense is young. They're aggressive. They don't have the pressure that, the Chiefs do. And these young wide receivers, if you're going to compare the two, they have the pressure to win in the playoffs and win another Super Bowl. The Packers guys, they don't have that. It's just a matter of, can we get close enough to the Lions to maybe, be better next year and kind of build. The Chiefs don't really build or reload. They just change some parts and pieces, and the expectations remain the same. So for Sunday, listen, for the most part, all the Raiders games are close. Now, the Chiefs have blown them out a few times over the last, I think, 3 years, twice, in fact. And I think that's a good thing. And I think that's probably going to be what happens on Sunday. I'm not sure that the Raiders, even though with Pierce taking over as the head coach, I know the defense has only given up, 14 points or 15 points a game since the turnover. But, they did a pretty good job, I think, against the Dolphins last week in Miami, traveling all the way across the country. But I expect Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce. I think this defense is going to show this young rookie quarterback what it's really like to be in the NFL. And I got a feeling you're looking at probably half the stadium is going to be wearing red and Chiefs fans. I know a lot of people have, going out for this football game Thanksgiving weekend in Vegas. So I'm anticipating this kind of be more like a home game for Kansas City. And I fully expect the Chiefs are going to get back on track. And I think they're going to win this game rather easily. And they'll score points in the second half, despite what some other people have been saying on social media and in the
that would be good
reporting annals of ESPN, namely one Mr. Adam Teicher, who believes the Chiefs will not score this weekend in the second half. Thank you, Adam. Appreciate the comment. Don't buy it.
He's a journalist. Come on.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna say this real quick. I do expect for Kansas City to win. Looking at the stats and whatnot, leading to the game. Raiders doesn't have nothing coming. Statistically, they don't. But as you stated, it's any given Sunday, right? Yep. Anything can happen. I mean, they can go out there and light it up. Like, who knows? But on paper, I feel like Kansas City is going to get a job done. Easy peasy. Go out there, make plays, control the clock, run the ball, and play great defense. I think Kansas City just going to pull it out. It's going to be a no-brainer.
Yep.
Yeah. I feel like this game is going to be make or break the Chiefs wide receiver room, man, because you got the Raiders has a good defense. They have a middle and pack defense, and they defense is not not a bad defense. But again, and as you stated earlier, I think it was Nick that said about the Green Bay Packers and their wide receiver room. That young guy, or it's probably was one of the two. The Chiefs need to be doing that. You out here putting out Watson out there that's on a 1-year deal. Mm-hmm. You out here putting MVS out here that's guaranteed not going to be here next year by the contract issues, by the money he's making and the yardage he's not putting up. And you have, them two guys should be on the back burner when it all comes out. You should only see what you got having Sky Moore, Tony, and Rice, but I just don't know. I'm just tired of beating a dead horse. I'm tired of saying the same thing, but it's got to be done because, like you said, like Nick put out on Twitter earlier that we'll talk about later in the show, Kelsey is talking about retirement. Yeah, he's not going to be here that long. I give Kelsey probably is this season, maybe next year. You never know. He got the #1 podcast. They making money from that. He got a girlfriend that's making a lot of money. He got a lot of money himself. Why not go out healthy with 2 rings and all the stats? And you lead the the Chiefs in receiving yards. You already passed Tony Gonzalez, the greatest player besides Patrick Mahomes before Kelsey and them got here. Was already doing it, but we will see. We'll see what happens this Sunday. But speaking
this just in from TMZ Todd, the Chiefs won't be winning the Super Bowl this year because Travis is going to retire with 2. Well, you said he's going to retire with 2 rings.
He did say retire with 2 rings.
This just in TMZ Todd.
Lou with the details.
To be honest,
one thing I want to say about the Raiders is that they are playing with a lot more spirit since Antonio Pierce took over. I think just the whole malaise that Josh McDaniels created in that organization. I don't think anybody was playing with any fight, any spunk. There was no joy to it. So you are seeing that they are playing harder. They do have those pieces on offense that they can lean on, and Josh Jacobs, Devontae Adams. So it's not, I don't think it's going to be an easy game by any stretch, but if the Chiefs play their game, don't turn it over. Don't make any silly penalties, which, there's going to be some. You just hope that there's not a lot of turnovers, that they should be able to win this game. But you got to give it to Pierce for kind of rallying that team and getting them to play. I don't know if there is such a thing anymore as Raider football, but as close as you can get, he seems to be bringing that out of them. So from that perspective, I think that it's going to be, they're not going to quit. Okay. And it's going to be a difficult game, I think, either way.
Yeah, it's not going to be an easy game by any stretch of the imagination. However, the Chiefs have a lot more at stake.
Hell yeah!
They know how to win these kinds of games. They know how to bounce back. They know what it's like when they lose a game they should have easily won. I mean, listen, everybody said the Chiefs outplayed them in that football game, except in the fourth quarter. And, if this team ever puts 4 quarters together, offense, defense, special teams, they'll never lose another football game again. If they'll just play for 4 quarters, they're that talented to beat absolutely anybody. And the problem is they just can't get out of their own damn way. And they just can't stop making stupid mistakes when they're trying to force feed or develop guys on the fly. At this point, just like it was a year ago at this time, you saw Reed and Spags. They started to separate the guys. They said, okay, now we're going to play these guys and get them ready for the playoff run to close out the season, hopefully make another Super Bowl run. So that's kind of what I expect. I don't think you're going to see some of the rotations that you see on offense. I think they're gonna put these guys in back-to-back snaps. I think they're going to adjust their game plan. They don't have a choice. I mean, listen, MVS has taken all the heat, and he's even dropping. And then they showed a picture of him dropping a fumble drill, and that's there. Everybody sees it. You can't just keep putting this guy in the field and hoping that he's going to turn it around, even though he's got a little bit of defense from some of the fellow wide receivers around the league, how difficult that catch is, which is ridiculous. Because honestly, all he had to do was look up or keep running, and it's a simple touchdown. So, you can't have that. You can't have that Lynn Elliott player on the field when you don't need him. There's no reason to put him out there when you've got some other guys. But, if they can get these guys in a regular rotation where they can play all three downs, back-to-back plays. I mean, look at the game, look at some of the games last night. The top receivers on those football teams kept getting the ball. You didn't see him take a timeout. You didn't see him go to the sidelines for a series. They played their top 3 or 4 guys, and until Andy Reid decides to do that, this is going to be a problem in Kansas City.
Yep.
And I think this is
all year.
And this is the week to solve that Rubik's Cube and say, the hell with it. This is what we're going to do going forward. So that's what I expect. If they're not going to do that,
just in
January
case
football is going to be bad.
Viewers and listeners under 40, Lynn Elliott was once a Chiefs kicker that missed some pretty makeable kicks in like playoff games that could have sent them moving along in the playoffs.
I freezed my ass off that night.
And didn't work out so well.
He said he freezed his tail off. But guys, listen,
25-degree wind chill. Minus 25-degree wind chill.
That's hard to kick a ball. He's kicking an ice cube.
Did he have shoes on? Did he have shoes on?
Yeah, he had shoes on. Yeah. And the sad part is that Carl Peterson cut Nick Lowry because he thought Lynn Elliott, who came from the Cowboys, was a better kicker. The Chiefs would have gone to the Super Bowl that year. They were so talented.
Nick was a great one.
And speaking of the talented,
so was Lowry.
You seen Gatu, the old the upper notch.
You gotta say old guys, but
I heard the old word.
The upper notch, gentleman that's on the show. Thinking about all the rivalries between the Chiefs and Raiders, what was your school us on? What were some good games that you guys saw, good rivalries, and some bad rivalries? Some of the games that you saw that was some good games and some bad games.
For me, the two most fun game. Now, this is going way back. Since I'm a Municipal Stadium kid, so these were at Municipal Stadium. The first one was when I think it was a 17-17, ended up being a 17-17 tie. Buck Buchanan taking Darryl LaMonica, the Raiders quarterback, who was one of my favorite players ever, threw him upside down, just body slammed him wrestling style. And then George Bland at 46 years old comes in and, does the game tying drive and then kicks the winning field goal. And then obviously the big one with Ben Davidson and Len Dawson, where Davidson speared. Chiefs were going to have a first down. Davidson spears Dawson. Otis Taylor comes in and knocks the crap out of Davidson. And the Chiefs get a 15-yard penalty. And that killed the drive, and the Raiders ended up tying that game. So that was one of the most memorable. The second one would have to be the Elvis Gerbach to Andre Rison catch and throw. That was just, that was in Oakland on a Monday night game. The Chiefs were down, 4 points or 6 points with 30 seconds to go, and a Marcus Allen pass to throw out of bounds, and Gerbach just somehow Rison got behind a safety and a corner in the back of the end zone, and Gerbach had his best throw as a Chief. Those are a couple of my favorite moments.
To me, the overarching thing was always, Madden on the sideline, and just for a while there, post, I guess, the era that Nick was talking about, it kind of the Raiders kind of owned the Chiefs for a while, and it wasn't a lot of fun. And one of the main guys, and I guess kind of one of the claim to fame to Erie, Pennsylvania, where I'm from, is Raider receiver and Hall of Famer Fred Biletnikoff is from here. And so there was still a ton of Raider fans here in Erie back then. And just to be sitting, amongst these guys and like cheering for the other team was always very, very, very difficult. But yeah, I mean, it was always a tough game. That Raider mystique. There was always, there was that kind of fear factor, and, Jack Tatum, drilling guys over the middle. But to me,
these guys don't know who those guys are.
To me, no. I mean, but you read about them. I mean, I think there was a story yesterday on Daryl Stingley and that whole thing, and how John Madden took care of his family, afterwards, and just amazing. But Jack Tatum was just like this headhunter, right? From Ohio State, just a big time hitter. I mean, this is when you didn't come across the middle in the NFL, or you were going to get clocked.
He had a cast on his arm, a literal cast.
Wow,
like you'd wear for a broken arm.
Nick is TMZ back in the 60s. Okay, so he had
old school football at the
but it was a rivalry because, again, each team was winning games, whereas now it's not quite what it was, because the Chiefs have dominated over the last, I don't know, 10 or 15 years, it seems like. But I mean, a lot of great memories. And then Marcus Allen, obviously, coming on to the Chiefs. I mean, that was a big deal. Whenever you see, guys would flip jerseys and go one way or the other, that would always make it a little bit more interesting. But Marty, when he came, Marty Schottenheimer became the coach of the Chiefs. He kind of reinstilled the whole thing with Raider Week. And this is the team that we have to beat. And it was just beautiful, beautiful times, mostly defensive football, but it didn't matter. There was a lot of hitting, a lot of guys getting knocked around, a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of fun. And my memories are, me, I just came along when Rich Gannon was over there, and I seen that he was, and Derek Thomas and stuff like that. But ever since then, Patrick Mahomes came along. He's been owning the Raiders. So, before we get into the rest of the part of the show, let's go into give our second sponsor a shout out.
All right, let's talk about my other good friend Eric Haynes of the Eric Haynes Group. If you're looking to buy or sell a house in the Kansas City area, or if you know family or friends who might be relocating to another city or relocating into Kansas City, Eric is your guy. You can reach him on his cell at 816-729-3785. eSellsKC@gmail.com. He's your real estate advisor, part of SunWest Real Estate Advisors and Keller Williams Partners. Again, give Eric a call, 816-729-3785. We trust Eric. He's a good friend. I've known him a long time. And he's your guy when you need to buy or sell a house. Again, Eric Haynes with the Eric Haynes Group, 816-729-3785.
Most importantly, sponsor of Chiefs Who.
Real quick, Brian. Real quick, guys. Brian Frazier just popped in. What's going on, Brian?
Hey, buddy.
He says Marty circled the Raiders game all in the 90s.
Yeah, he changed. I mean, he changed everything. I mean, he. You're right. I mean, he came in and said, the job now is to win the division. That was their job every year under Marty, and it was always to beat the Raiders. He hated the Raiders. And I mean, this is a guy who came from Cleveland, and, he was courted by the Chargers before he ended up coming to Kansas City. And he came in with that mentality, we hate the Raiders. And he got him fired up. And, I credit to him, because that change of philosophy about winning your division was critical. Because that's kind of what catapulted that team in the 90s to have so much success. I mean, when he had a guy like, Derek Thomas and Neil Smith, and he had a reliable quarterback at the time in Joe Montana, you had Marcus Allen, you change the culture, you spin it a different way, because the Chiefs up to that point, I mean, I think the Raiders until Marty came and won something like 12 or 15 out of 16 in a row.
It was ugly.
Changed the whole vibe from the 60s and 70s. So, kudos to them. But, now it's, like you said, Hense, it's reversed. And but that doesn't mean that the Raiders, can't win. I mean, they came into Arrowhead a couple of years ago. Granted, there was some horrific play calling and some stupid mistakes, that cost them the football game. But nonetheless, they can still win. And I would be shocked, if the Raiders won on Sunday. I don't expect it. But when you change the culture, you change the mentality. the Chiefs clearly have the edge Sunday just because they kind of have been the most dominating team. And the Raiders have had so much turmoil. And, the two games that they won against the Jets and the Giants at home, with Pierce as the head coach, that's a nice story. They go down to Miami. They play relatively well. They still made mistakes. They still weren't good enough to beat the Dolphins. I don't think anybody felt that the Raiders were going to beat the Dolphins no matter what happened that day and all the things they tried to do. And listen, still offensively, the Raiders aren't running the ball that great. They haven't. They've got a young rookie quarterback in there. Their offensive line has struggled at times. The defense is flying around and just kind of having fun. But, they've got some injuries on the defense too. So we'll see who ends up playing on Sunday.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about it on Wednesday. Double X Max Crosby is going to show up, and he's going to be there
Double
every
X
down.
Max Crosby
Plays just about every snap of the game, and that's
he has not practiced. Yeah, but he has not practiced all week.
He will play. I don't got it.
I think he will too. but how effective he'll be remains.
He's one of the guys. Again, in every one of these games, you just want to make sure that there's one person that doesn't wreck the game, and he's the one. Max Crosby is just a guy.
Get hit with the whistle. Okay, I'll say we're gonna go to the next. We're gonna go into the subject. The quarterback, Athan, man. What do y'all think about him? They bench Jimmy for the rest of the year to see what they have in him. He did have a completely. It wasn't a great game, but it was a manageable game. He had a manageable game. What do you guys think about this guy? Dre.
I like O'Connell. I like him. He brings a different element to Oakland. I mean to the Raiders. I'm sorry, to the Raiders
too. No, it's fine.
I know it's crazy because Las Vegas doesn't make sense, right? He's still open, right?
It's not right.
Because he brings he can throw the ball downfield. He's not afraid of sling the ball. He's not cautious like Garoppolo is. He's not cautious, but he is going to fling the ball. But I feel like he gives the Raiders that spark in a sense. But other than that, that's about it. That's about it. And he is a rookie.
About it.
That's about it. Well,
he wasn't a very high round pick. I mean, he wasn't a high.
He wasn't.
No.
Basically from Purdue, right?
Yeah,
Purdue. Yeah. So he's okay.
I don't. Again, he's. He came in and played in the Chargers game, and threw that interception, a really bad interception that sealed the loss there when they went to Los Angeles. And I think he's played well in spurts, but is he going to play well enough to defeat the Chiefs?
No.
And that defense, Spags is chomping at the bit. I mean, just look what they did to Jalen Hurts in the first half, the other night. That's the kind of defense that we have. That's the kind of defense we're going to see the rest of the year. And all it's going to take is hitting this guy a couple of times, a couple of turnovers. And, I would not be shocked if Jimmy Garoppolo plays in the second half in this football game, just to get some starter time and shake off the rust and maybe come in and throw a touchdown or two. But, I think this is a tough chore. The Raiders are starting to play better teams. We're going to find out a lot about them. I still don't think Pierce is the answer. I still think they're going to get a big time head coach. And I would not be shocked at this point if it's a really, really big name. So I think right now there's still that team, had some nice moments. They got a little bit more swagger now, but they're not playing great all on both sides of the football. Defense is better, but offensively, I don't see them putting up 30 points against the Chiefs or 20 points. I think that'd be a stretch.
Definitely.
Well, he's a rookie trying to find his way. He's not one of these dynamic guys that's going to move around a lot. He's kind of, throwing the ball on time. He will throw it deep. So, Devontae Adams is still a real threat, not to the point, that he was with Derek Carr or, obviously Aaron Rodgers. But as far as, again, O'Connell's concerned, what you're getting. Where he's going to be, right? He's not going to make a lot of dynamic plays outside of the pocket. For their case, I think it was just that, okay, we know what Jimmy is,
right,
and it's not really working. Let's see what we have in this rookie. It's probably not a playoff team. They won a couple of games against the New York teams. like you said, Nick, they played the Dolphins tough, but they were never really in a position to win it. So Aiden O'Connell isn't the type of guy right now that can win the game for him, but he can certainly lose it.
Yep.
So get after him, get him off the spot. Don't let him get in a rhythm. And I think, again, he's only, what he is.
Yep.
I mean, and we'll leave it at that.
And speaking of the offense, is going to be going up against this defense, and we're going to get to see Snead and T-Cuff.
Come on now.
We're going to get to see T-Cuffs go against Adams. Now they took out all the top wide receivers. Now they're going up against the best route runner in the game. I'd like to say so. And Avante Adams. Is we going to see Avante Adams continue to see this streak of Trent McDuffie and Snead locking down these guys in the lead?
Most definitely. Most definitely. I'm gonna say real quick. Look.
Go ahead.
Okay, bet. So most definitely, because here's the thing. Davante Adams, to me, he's still an elite receiver, but at the same time, he hasn't really been making an impact this year like the previous guys the Chiefs faced. I think it should be a no-brainer. McDuffie and Snead do work against him, take him out the game. So it really is nothing, because without Davante Adams, who else do the Raiders have without Davante Adams? And of course, Jacob is gonna get locked up. They're gonna submerge the run. They're gonna control that area of the field. But again, I'm not too much worried about Davante Adams, especially with the secondary. Like, they show me all I need to see this year. So Davante Adams, it's not gonna be a threat at all.
Yeah, I mean, they got Renfro, and he's one of my favorite players, and I hope he's a Chief next year. But they definitely have some guys that can catch the ball. I think you make a good point about the run game too. I mean, they've not run the ball well. I think that's a problem. And I think Hense's going to bottle up the middle. And I think they got something. The defense has got something to prove. They look at last week's loss like they didn't do enough, to win the game for the team. And generally speaking, when you have Patrick Mahomes on their side and you feel that way, that tells me these guys are dialed in.
Yeah, as far as the Raiders' run game, they're committed to it, right? I mean, at very least, it didn't seem like they were before. Josh Jacobs was getting his carries, so they're going to have to try to, again, like you guys said, bottle him up. There really was two big plays the other night that the defense gave up that are going to happen. These are professional teams, and the Eagles are arguably the best team in the league. The run by Swift, the Smith catch down the sideline. But again, as far as Davante's concerned, he can be a great route runner, but you still got to get him the rock.
Yeah,
right. Find him the rock. It doesn't seem like they are trying to get him the ball. It's just not happening as frequently as it has in the past. Right. And McDuffie, you mentioned Renfro. I think you'll see McDuffie on him most of the time, and maybe they'll switch up, with some motions, or if they passes off. And it depends on what defensive Spags is calling, who's coming, which one of the guys are going to blitz off the edge, because it looks like these guys are becoming like mirror images of one another with their skill sets.
There's a reason for that.
So here we go.
And speaking of that, man, as you look deep into that picture, you see the guy is standing right there in the middle, number 2. The Chiefs do see something in Joshua Williams, and Joshua Williams is a part of the painting that the Chiefs are putting out there to the world. So ain't nothing more.
Is that 6? Is that number 6?
Ain't nothing more than Coach Drake can say anymore. Joshua Williams has made the front cover.
That's number 6.
Hense Todd, blow that up.
That's number 6. That's number 6. That's not 2. That's number 6.
A full screenshot. Let's go.
I'm gonna make it a full screenshot for he can see. I'm gonna zoom all the way in where he can see Mr. Williams right there in the shot.
There he is.
As you see, Williams
they put him under the disrespect. MVS is clogging. MVS is messing everything up, guys, because number 2 is on here.
Hey, man.
I put it like this.
11 is the new 2, man. That's all there is to it.
The disrespect of number
1
6.
plus
They
1
put
is
2 on
2.
there.
1 plus 1 is 2, even better. Yeah.
I put it like that, man. I feel like this defense is gonna come out and come around and show everybody what they've been doing all year, man. And I just don't want this offense. It got to get it together. I just want our offense to come out lagging again. Come out lagging again. I don't want that. Like, come on, we got to come out. We got to get this thing going because wasting this good defense. This is the best defense I've seen since I've been watching the Chiefs. Since I started watching the Chiefs. Now I know the '90s Chiefs. I know all that, but we ain't had a defense like this. Not in a top.
And they're not going to have one this good next year because there's no way to.
So you find a way to keep them together. You find a way to keep these guys together, man. Because all chips is in. All chips is in.
I don't see it. I don't see how they're going to afford all these guys. I mean, it's just there's way too many good players and way too many free agents. And again, if they're greedy and they all have agents, you look at how the Chris Jones's Katz brothers almost screwed the whole thing up, and could have put the Chiefs in a really good cap situation, but they just gave him bad advice until Chris negotiated his own contract with Brett Veach. So again, I don't know if that's going to happen, with the Willie Gays and the Drew Tranquils, and you're gonna have to extend Bolton at some point. You've got the 2 offensive linemen and Humphreys and Smith, and it just goes on and on and on and on. So you're right, Hense. Take advantage of this defense now, because it's very doubtful and then you got Snead, if I'm Snead's agent, I'm the number 1 lockdown corner in the National Football League. I can go up against the best, and I'm going to make my $18 million a year because somebody will pay that. The Pittsburgh Steelers will pay it. The San Francisco 49ers will pay it. The Philadelphia Eagles.
The Buffalo will pay it.
No, I don't think Buffalo will. I think they're going for
Arizona will pay it.
Arizona might pay it. Arizona might give you $40 million.
Pay that.
The Dolphins will pay him. So we're gonna have a lot of time to talk about this in the offseason, but man, it's gonna be difficult. But for right now, Carpe Diem, seize the day. And if this offense just scores 25 to 28 points a game, no one's gonna put that up. No offense in the National Football League is gonna put up more points than 25 to 28 points a game. It's just not gonna happen. And
do you guys sense that offensively it might be a little bit of an urgency issue too? Like on the field, I mean, it just doesn't seem like sometimes they just kind of go into a lull and there's no real urgency. Not that they need to go, up tempo for a lot of the game, but in certain cases where you make a big first down play, I mean, you see a lot of teams, that's when they go up tempo to keep the defense, the defense that they just saw, get beat on a long play on the field, no substitutions. Let's go, so not much of that this year.
Yeah. If you keep, Rashee Rice in for more than a snap, if you keep Kadarius Toney in for more than a snap, you could do those kinds of things, and that's the problem. That's what's hurting this football team right now. We say it every week. We've been saying this about Andy Reid since he came to Kansas City. You just at some point you just got to play the guys that you can count on, like he did. You have to, and you can't. There's no more experimentation. The Chiefs now have no room for error for the top seed in the AFC. I mean, the Ravens are coming up, but the Ravens after this week they have a bye. They play the Chargers. They got to go to Los Angeles, play the Chargers. I think they have to go to San Francisco. They have to go to Jacksonville. They got, I think, the Steelers and the Dolphins at home. It's not going to be easy for them they're not running the table. They're not winning all 6 of those games. They got the bye week coming up after the Chargers this weekend, but they're not running the table. Not without Mark Andrews. There's no way. And so take advantage of your shot. If the Chiefs win, they'll and the Ravens lose to the Chargers, then the Chiefs are back on top and they control their destiny. And they should put the gas pedal on. And I'm with you, Lou. Yeah. Just get out there and just go fast forward.
Because only hard game they got is the Buffalo. And Buffalo, you don't know what you're gonna get from Buffalo.
You don't know what you're gonna get. You're gonna get an all-world team or a team that's gonna turn the ball over 5 times. Sounds familiar, doesn't it?
It sounds familiar. I put it like this, man. I put it like this. If I know everybody said Travis Kelce's getting double teamed, why not? Why not? Okay, y'all gonna double team him. I'm gonna put him on the outside. I'm putting him outside at the X. I'm gonna put him outside at the X. Y'all can take all that traffic over that side, and I'm gonna eat all this field, the rest of this field up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat the rest of this field up because Noah Gray is playing good at tight end. You know, he playing good at tight end. He only dropped one ball all year.
All year.
One ball. No, I already did a research. It's been one ball all year. All year. One ball all year. And his target rate is good. He's been playing good. He's fast. He's, you know, I'm not saying nothing's wrong with Kelsey. I'm just saying, okay, y'all gonna triple cover this man. Y'all gonna lock in on everything else. Okay. I play Madden. I'm real good at Madden now. I would take that man. I'll put him right out. I'll put him right out of X. You want to play games? I'm gonna put you at X, and you're gonna take all that traffic over that side, and I'm gonna eat the rest of this field up.
This just in, Coach Reed now consulting TMZ Todd's Madden tape. How do we deploy Travis? Let's go.
Real quick, guys. Real quick. Brian Frazier again says, with the struggles in the wide receiver room, would Andy consider going more 11 and 12 personnel? In his mind, it takes a wide receiver out, and by doing that, so he said go 12 personnel.
Well, yeah, I think we've talked about that before. I mean, even in some cases 13 personnel, because you do get some weird matchups and some matchup issues on other teams. I don't think they really do that. They don't seem to do that enough. And I know I brought it up before, but Jody Fortson, I think, was the key to the 13 personnel because he can easily line up. He can easily line up out wide. He was he was a wide receiver and a tight end wide receiver. So he can play both, but they don't have him. Noah, I don't think got a ball thrown to him the other night. I don't know that I don't recall him being a target or even in a route, but I'm sure he was. I just didn't see it. But yeah, that's another way to kind of, I guess, dictate to the defense what they need to play, and they would have to have a different personnel grouping for it. But if you've got tight ends that can get down the field, now all of a sudden you've got matchup advantages, and Noah's the guy.
I'm gonna say this. Good point by both of y'all, Nick and Bo. But at the same time, we have to be able to trust the receivers again, because, like you stated, Lou. I mean, 2 targets, 3 targets to certain receivers, and especially Rashee Rice. Man, every time he gets hot, you take him out. Tony was hot.
He had a drop too. He had a drop the other night too.
He dropped too, but still, you still got to feed these guys the ball and build that confidence.
Snaps. That surprised me. 57. Right. He had 57 snaps. It didn't look like it.
True, and the thing is, feeding the guys when they hot. We gotta stop trying to force the ball to this individual.
You think you really think he is?
I'm not trying to go to MVS like that, but
I don't think he's not being. He wasn't forcing the ball to Watson. Just happened to be open a lot the other.
No, Watson. No. I'm talking about MVS. I ain't talking about Watson.
But Watson had like 13 targets.
Yeah, because he's been their best receiver.
He had 13 targets, but at the same time, again, he was getting open and he was getting separation.
I don't think Patrick was over feeding him the ball.
Open.
It's the open guy, right? He's the open guy. That's fine. I get that, but
that's our man.
Rashee Rice to me is the guy. Rashee Rice is the guy. He's the new product for Kansas City, right? Because the man been nothing but productive, right? But at the same time as this, we gotta get Sky more touches. That's my guy. Give him more touches. And on top of that, Tony, let Tony go out to put him in the X, put him in the slot. I'm like, come on, man! Like, give him more touches. Of course, he dropped maybe 1 or 2 passes, but still, still 4 quarters of football.
Put him in the backfield. He's got to return punts.
Yeah. What you guys gonna do when you go out there and this comes Sunday at 3:25 Kansas City time, 4:25 Lou time,
that's right.
And you go out there and you see Watson, MVS. Back at the starting spot. What you gonna say? You were like, okay, listen, you know what? this is enough. This is enough. The man is dropping passes in practice. The man.
If I see MVS, I'm done. If I see MVS, I'm done.
Here's the thing.
Coach
I think
Reed
the reason
is loyal, isn't he?
He's loyal. He is. Always has been. Here's what I think. I don't have any problem with the focus on Watson the other night, because I think going into the game, he was the Chiefs' best receiver. He's made a ton of tough catches. The catch in Minnesota, catching the ball on top of the helmet. The problem is he, like his fellow receivers, don't understand how to run the routes that you need to when Patrick Mahomes is your quarterback.
Right.
Mahomes throws to a spot. Mahomes believes you're going to go to the spot. If you're in a zone and you're supposed to sit down, at the X spot on the field, whatever that is, that's where the ball is going to go. The problem is these receivers aren't doing that. They're looking in front of them. They're just go to the spot. Watson had probably an easy touchdown on that one pass if he'd just run toward the sidelines. I mean, MVS, if he just kept running.
Well. I think
and MVS had another one in the game. He just,
for
whatever reason, he just tripped over himself looking for the ball.
The corner route. Troy Aikman did a great job of breaking that down, and it's all gauged on the leverage of the defense and being able to read it. So Patrick's reading the defensive leverage, and it's not always going to be the way I guess the play is drawn on your sheet or on your iPad in the playbook. So you read the defense, and he's saying, okay, the defender's playing in such a way. This is a wide open touchdown to the corner, and MVS cut it off short. He was going towards the sideline, and then he's whirling around because the ball's somewhere else.
If all else fails, go deep.
And the same thing with J Watt on the play where he kind of was running it towards the sideline and said the defense called for him to just go. And that's where Patrick threw it. And we've talked about this, I think, since week one, is that it's not always the way it's drawn up in the playbook. You got to read the defense and do what's necessary because that's where Patrick's throwing it.
We need Mark Boerichter back on the field, man, because that boy just – he understood.
Mark Boerichter was nice. Mark Boerichter
nice. Understood.
I think
he knew how to run a straight line.
If I remember him right, that was his one. That was his one play. He came from the CFL. For you guys that don't know, he's like a big time player in the CFL. Dick Vermeil brings him in, and you think, oh man, this guy's going to be. He's like a lightning shot every time, and I think they hit it once, right?
No, they hit it. No, they would come out. They would come out the first play of every game, and they would go deep, and they would throw it to Boerichter. And I remember
he had a 100-yard catch. Was it a
99-yard catch? Trent Green threw him the ball. He caught it about the 50-yard line and just walked into the end zone from there. I mean, he just had a knack for making big plays, and he did. Listen, he did some other things really well. He was one of my favorite Chiefs receivers.
Not a high volume guy.
No, but man, when he needed to make a play, he made it.
That's the thing about Watson is that he's always been like a complimentary player. I mean, even as a special teamer,
he's not ready
Tampa and whatever. He's not a high volume guy. He's just been kind of thrust into that because no one has stepped up. Now we can all look at and see Rashee Rice's potential. What he's doing when he gets the opportunity. Again, I don't know. I mean, God bless the Coach Reed for kind of working in newer coaches and so forth. Is Connor Embry the right guy to coach the youngest group? Now, the kids probably done amazing things. They've done a great job of developing coaches and moving them on. You've seen it with Kafka. You saw it with Nagy and any.
I didn't look at that, Luke. I didn't look at now. You open my eyes. Now I'm looking.
So this is a young coach, and he's got a team of guys kind of flailing. Like we need help. Whatever. I don't know, but I mean, we just keep saying the same things. Four has got to get the ball more.
No, they need another.
He's the most talented wide receiver they have right now.
Yeah.
I think he and Tony are the most. I think he and Tony are the most talented overall.
Or is number 8 that's on the exempt list. They could have been the most talented, but we ain't gonna get back into
it. We sure ain't gonna go there.
They ain't gonna go there because it ain't ever gonna happen again. That ship is sailed.
I put it like this.
T. Higgins, baby. T. Higgins.
I put it like this. Speaking of a ship that's sailing, Travis Kelce went on the show and he was talking about retirement. Can you tell us more about this, Nick?
Well, I put an article up, on Chiefs Blitz today, and I listen. I think the way Travis Kelce mentioned in his interview with the Wall Street Journal, who even knew there was a Wall Street Journal magazine? I didn't, but anyway, he talked about
what's a magazine, Nick?
Yeah, exactly. He's contemplating it. He looks at it and he says, I've gone through a bunch of surgeries. I've had injuries. They're taking a toll. He's 34 years old. He's not having the season. I mean, he's still got 5 touchdowns, 640 yards. He's still averaging, 10 yards a catch, which is great. He's making a boatload of money. He's got 1 more year left to complete his $54.5 million contract, in 2024. That's when Taylor Swift's, Eras Tour ends, is next year at the end of 2024. And I think when you look at, how he's played this year, the things he's saying, he's already dealt with 2 injuries this year, and the Travis and the Taylor Swift thing is a real thing, guys. I mean, this is a guy that clearly they're an item, clearly they're in love. You don't fly 16 hours on a plane, and she would have come back had it not been for that incident down in the concert, and her whole family would have been here. So listen, I mean, the guy is giving about everything he can. He's got a podcast that does 1.5 million downloads a day. That equates to a lot of money. I don't think people understand how much money 1.5 million downloads generates on YouTube.
Look at us.
It's seriously significant. And you look at the sponsors, he's got 25 sponsors. I counted them up. He's only getting more. The Kelsey brand is going to replace the Manning brand. It's only a matter of time. And if he retires, he can go to all the concerts he wants during the week. He can do NFL Live or NFL on Sundays or Fox Sports, and they'll line up to pay him a ton of money. Hollywood's going to come calling. You're looking sitcoms and movies, and the guy's got it made, and he's a Kansas City guy now. He's a Kansas City kid, and I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of the season, if the Chiefs are fortunate to beat the Detroit Lions or the San Francisco 49ers in the Super Bowl, then I got 3 rings. I'm dating Taylor Swift. I'm probably going to marry her. We're going to have babies. Maybe I got a brand new, $6.5 million spread in Kansas City. Maybe we just live in Kansas City and ride it out. And I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. I think Travis knows exactly how long he's going to play. I think also based on how pissed off he was, for what happened last weekend and the words on his podcast, it doesn't sound like a guy who's going to quit anytime soon or hang it up. But damn, the Chiefs at some point, probably sooner or later, are going to have to start thinking, can we win? We proved we can win without Tyreek Hill, but can we win without Travis Kelce? I'm thinking this year and next year, and I think that's it. I don't see him, even if they sign him to a new contract to create some cap space. I just don't see it. I think his body is beat up, and the way they're playing him now, it's just that's a lot to ask.
In his body language. Like he's not really. He's here, but he's not here. Travis Kelce.
No, I don't know. I think he's here. I don't think his body's here with him. Does that make sense?
It's not. That's what I'm saying.
It's not his mind. It's not his mind. It's the physical limitations. They're starting to creep in. That's what I think.
It's like Travis Kelce already did a lot in his career. He doesn't have nothing else to prove. Trav doesn't have anything to prove to nobody.
No,
he doesn't.
No, if he wants to chase the Tony Gonzalez records and the Gronk records and all those things, that's all great. He's a lock to go in the Hall of Fame 5 years after he retires.
Yes, agree.
I mean, he has proven he puts. I don't think people understand how much of his own money he puts into Kansas City. Right. I mean, the Harvesters, deposit that he and Taylor Swift made. I mean, that's the first time in Kansas City. And she goes, yeah, I'll write a check. I mean, he writes a check. I mean, it's just, he gives so much. And I think he's the most likable chief, one of the most beloved chief that's ever been in this organization. Mm-hmm. And now he's got a fulfilled life in every aspect of it. And it's like, football's like, do I really want to put my body through this? Do I want to run in the backyard with my kids someday? I think these are all real things just as a human being, that you have to look at. But listen, I don't think he's going to retire at the end of this year. That would surprise me. I think he would, let the Chiefs have a full year to find a replacement, groom somebody. And, who knows? Maybe he has a resurgence like his brother did. Jason is 36, 37. And he's the best center in the National Football League. Sorry, Creed Humphrey fans, but the way Kelce played the other night, no, I haven't seen a center do those kinds of things in a really, really long time.
Isn't Kelce something else?
He's just, so these guys again, and I think the Kelce brand is something that they're they're going to look at. But don't be the Chiefs probably knew it was coming. I don't know if Noah Gray's the answer, is the replacement, for a full-time thing. I'm going all in on Bowers from Georgia. I don't care if I got to trade into the top 5 or the top 10. You go get that guy no matter what. I don't care what it costs.
I agree.
Give up a 25 number one, a 2024 number one, a 2 and a 3. I don't give a darn. Go get Bowers and put him in that role, and the Chiefs will be just fine offensively.
3 points about Travis thing is, one, Coach Parcells used to say, once you start thinking about retirement or talking about retirement, you've already retired.
Correct.
Okay?
You're right.
Second thing, Travis, I think it's going to be about his health. If he is physically able, because you can tell he just loves to play. He loves the competition. He loves being there. And most players do on game day. Do they love the grind that it takes to get yourself ready at 34, 35 years old to play a full NFL season? Yep. And as far as the money's concerned, he's never going to want for money. I mean,
no.
Nick went through the list of all the different streams of income that he is going to have. And I mean, I think they've already surpassed the Mannings at this point. The Taylor Swift thing was the boost that they kind of needed to get over the top, right? Because
look at their song.
Because Peyton and Eli are kind of boring dudes, and they lean into that, and they're these dorky guys that wear quarter zips, and but they're quirky.
You said quarter zips,
and they're fun, and they're funny, right? So, okay, but you got Jason and Travis that are very funny, pretty raunchy too on their show. So there's a whole younger audience that I think, enjoys that, and they speak to their language. So God bless them. I don't know that he plays one more year, maybe. I wouldn't say 2. If you recall, like the end of Jason Witten's career, where, I mean, he would find ways to get open just because of just his mentality and knowing the game and knowing kind of like dead spots, but he really didn't have much else. I don't think Travis wants to get to that point. He doesn't want to hang on and just be a guy on the team. He wants to be one of the reasons why the team wins. So, and I'm with you, Nick, there. If he plays one more year after this one, that's probably
I'm good.
Match.
I think I'd call
it. Do that explains why Andy Reid was going at Travis Kelce on the sideline? Maybe.
I've never seen that.
Maybe we don't know.
I've never seen Andy get on
call
Travis
me TMZ
like that.
Todd. I just don't know. I don't know the info.
The only thing he could kind of make out was he was just Coach Reid was like saying stop. So I don't know if he's telling him to stop on a route, or maybe he was barking at somebody.
Like knowing his attitude, like knowing Travis's attitude,
one of his teammates, or what he was doing. But you like to see the old coach get into it a little bit. So, you need that saltiness every once in a while. Wake the team up a little bit.
Wake them up.
Yeah, wake them up.
That's right.
Well, they better be woken up on Sunday. That's all I got to say.
If they lose, I don't know.
And speaking of waking up and losing, let's get into these Week 12 picks.
Dun, dun, dun.
I had some new music, but it took a while to download, so it will be next. It'll be on the show next time. So let's go ahead and give it the picks, and we will do it without music. So let's go ahead. We got the Week 12 picks. Who you guys taking? We already seen the Lions, the Washington, the picks and stuff like that. They played last night, so let's get right into it. So we'll go right into tonight's game. Dolphins versus the Jets. Who you have there, Andre, and why?
I got the Dolphins because on paper, offensively, defensively, they takes it. Tua and them guys going against, the Jets. To me, I feel like the Jets are depleted mentally. I mean, I feel like the defense kind of lost their edge, because they're doing too much, and after a while they feel depleted. So I got the Dolphins. And Ramsey's back. So, the Dolphins.
Well, what you got? What you got, Nick?
I want to pick the Jets in this game so bad. Because I want to see Aaron Rodgers try and play in 2 weeks. They showed him walking into the stadium today, and it was like, oh, well, he had no limp.
He's been throwing on the field.
It makes me wonder if he even had surgery, or if it was even really that torn. maybe it was just a tiny little tear that they pulled back together. I mean, it's virtually impossible to think about this, but listen, the Jets have everything to lose. They have everything to lose in this game. The Dolphins have, if the Bills suddenly get hot, that's going to make that division a little bit more interesting. Again, I'm not sold on the Dolphins on the road. I don't really care who they play. I think Robert Saleh, I think, is a terrible head coach. I think he has mismanaged this team completely. They're starting another quarterback today. It's an Amazon game on Black Friday, starting in a few hours, depending on when you're listening to the show. So maybe some of you people, when you listen to the game, will be over. But make a long-winded story, man. I don't know why I think this. I just think the Jets defense is going to put so much pressure on Tua that I think the Jets are going to squeak this game out by a point. So I'm going to go with New York.
Is this the Tim Boyle coming out party?
Yeah, this is the Tim Boyle.
Third stringer in Green Bay.
Boyle Dolphins.
One of Rodgers' handpicked buddies to come over and hang out with them.
You notice that he's at the game today? Yeah, and he's at the game, and Rodgers is there today too.
Of course he is. He's at all the home games, and I'm sure he's throwing on the field beforehand. I don't know. I'm still going to pick the Dolphins.
Right.
It's a big number. They're like a 9.5 point favorite, but I would take the points, I guess, if I had to bet the game. But I'm going to take the Dolphins to win.
All right, fair enough.
And I'm going to take the Jets. I'm with Nick. We're going to split this one out. I think the Jets are going to turn. Their defense is going to play well, and I think the Jets some way to squeeze out this win. So we'll go right down into the Falcons versus the Saints. Who you guys got there? We're gonna go rapid fire.
Falcons, Saints. I mean, I have the Saints taking that.
Taking it. I got the Saints as well.
Saints.
I'll take the home team. Be a little bit different here. Both there. I think New Orleans is 5-5. Atlanta's 4-6. So this is huge. This could division leaders. Whoever wins the game. So
Carl will be back this week.
Let's go with Bijan Robinson to put up a monster game.
I got the Saints taking that game. We got the Bengals at the Steelers. Who you have taking this game?
I got the Bengals because I think T. Higgins is going to play, and that means Joe Burrow is going to win.
Joe Burrow won't be playing today or anytime soon, Nick. But
you know what I mean.
Yeah. So we got another.
I still think the Bengals are going to win.
Jake Browning making his first NFL career. So this is crazy with all these quarterback injuries. It's difficult for a guy to step in like that. Yeah. Steelers fired their offensive coordinator. The fans got their gift and fire Matt Canada. He's gone. So now they got two guys running the offense. Give me Jalen Warren and Pickens and that whole group. I'm going to take the Steelers real close.
Yeah,
I'm taking this. I'm taking the Steelers with a blowout. I'll put it like this.
What is the blowout going to be? 3-0?
I think it's going to be a blowout. I think it'll be 10 to 30, 10 to 30 in a blowout.
Wow, I don't see that. But go ahead.
Putting up 30.
Hey man,
they never done it.
That's crazy.
I'll stick with my Burrow-less Cincinnati Bengals.
If Burrow doesn't play,
it's terrible. A terrible Pittsburgh offense.
I picked Green Bay last week, early this week, and look what happened. Green Bay came out and
well, it's a Thanksgiving. It's a Thanksgiving game, man. It's Thanksgiving.
They ate what Matt used to call the turkey. What he called it?
Take the road team in the points when you go to Detroit on Thanksgiving Day.
So I put it like this: we got the Houston Texans. That's gonna be a big game versus the Jags. Who you guys taking there?
Texans. I'm all in.
CJ. I'm all in with CJ.
Yeah, I love Jacksonville, but I think in this spot, I think Houston's going to be one of my best bets this week. +1 at home. Yeah, let's go Houston.
Yep, let's do it.
I'll go Houston. We got the Buccaneers versus the Indianapolis Colts. Who you guys taking there?
Man, it's a toss-up game. I'm gonna have to go with I go with the Colts. I'll take the Colts.
Nick?
Man, I want to take the Colts, so I will.
You'll see this in the best bets as well. I'm going with the horseshoe. Give me Jonathan Taylor when he rushes, I don't know, like for over 100 yards at 13-1 and 1, some ridiculous number. And I think he'll get that 100 and they're going to win.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm taking the Buccaneers. I'll take the Buccaneers to take that game. We got the Patriots versus the Giants. Who you guys got taking that game?
I got the Patriots with that defense. I got New England.
Nah, I got the Giants.
Bill Belichick, if he's got another win left in him this year, he'd nothing more that he'd love to beat his old team.
Yeah, he may be their head coach next year. You never know.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, this just makes me sick to even pick the game, but I'll take the Patriots just because.
Yeah,
I'm taking the Giants, and I think Belichick is the next coach out. We're gonna go with the Panthers versus the Titans. Who you guys got there?
Titans.
Do we care?
Sure don't really. But
I'll take the Panthers.
The
Titans ownership said they were giving Mike Vrabel another year. I gotta go with
Billy Jean, Will Levis. Let's go Tennessee.
There we go. All right.
I go with Tennessee. We got the LA Rams versus the Cardinals.
Arizona, man, ain't rocket science for me. Arizona.
I keep picking them and they're not winning. So,
Nick, I'm gonna need you go the opposite. Then I'm
gonna ensure your team a victory. I am taking the Los Angeles Rams.
give me Puka Nacua all day. Let's go Rams.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna take the Cardinals there. We have the Browns versus the Broncos. The Broncos is on a winning streak.
This is a huge game.
Broncos are on a winning streak.
I go with Hollywood Russell. Man. I'm gonna take Russell Wilson on this one, sir.
Who you got, Nick?
I can't take the Broncos twice in a row. I just can't. I can't do it. I mean, I think that Browns defense is too good.
It's too much. It's
going to be too much for Russell Wilson in that dink and dunk offense, and I think the pressure that they're going to bring. I think Myles Garrett is just turned into one of the greatest defenders of all time. He's just dominating. He could have 3 or 4 sacks in this game, and Wilson has not seen a defense like this. Kansas City defense was good, but the Browns defense I think is a little bit better. They're going to be relentless. They know Pittsburgh's probably going to have a tough time going on the road. They're in the playoffs right now. This is a game they have to win. The big reason is if Denver wins, they're closer to maybe taking a wild card spot away from the Browns because the Steelers aren't going to be there when it's all said and done. So I got a feeling, even though the Browns quarterback situation is a disaster, that defense is gonna win.
Real quick, Nick, if Russell does win, he beat the Chiefs and he beat this defense. What can we say about Russell Wilson? He beat the top 3 defense if that was to occur.
Listen, he is playing the Alex Smith role without throwing the deep ball to perfection. He is a game manager. He is taking what the defenses are giving him. He is dumping the ball left, dumping the ball right, throwing up Hail Marys, hopefully thinking that he's got, his Judy's going to make one unbelievable catch
at the other end, man.
Yeah. When you got Judy and Sutton out there, just get it close. And, listen, these aren't precision throws. These aren't, I have so much talent that my right arm is going to just put this ball in the right space. It's like, okay, I got pressure on it. I'm just going to do a heave-ho. And if it's intercepted, great.
Heave-ho. That's right.
Heave-ho. He is the best heave-ho quarterback in the NFL right now. And
breaking news once again.
You know what?
Nick.
I'll tell you this. They remind me of the Chiefs team. They remind me of the Chiefs team that went 1-5 and ended up 11-5. It would not shock me because their defense is so good. Yeah. But listen, the Browns offense is terrible. Maybe Kareem Hunt has a huge game.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Maybe they just run the ball down the throat. Defensively, they don't stop the run still very well. So if they focus on the run game, I think they got a chance. But to answer your question, Dre, yes, if he wins this game, you got to look at it like, okay, this is the guy for right now. He's still not the future. His age is
true.
By the time this team is completely revamped offense, defense, and Sean Payton has a couple years to bring his own guys in there, he's not going to be their quarterback. Russell is going to be their quarterback. There's absolutely no way.
Right.
We've now spent as much time talking Browns, Broncos as we have Chiefs, Raiders. So give me the DTR experience. Let's go.
The DTR. Okay.
Let's go. Let's go.
You know, and I don't care about no Broncos. I think they will. Comes the airplane.
Wow. Is that Russ?
The hell. So that's what I think was going to happen.
Pretty good.
I think what's going to happen to him. But again, guys, we got the Bills. You know, the Bills are playing this week. Who y'all got taking that game? They play the Eagles.
I think Fly Eagles fly. I think it's too much. I just think
this dude with the skit, man. Get off the screen, man.
The Eagles are due to put one of those games together.
Yeah,
and I think it's this week. They got to keep pace. They got to be ahead of the San Francisco 49ers. The Lions lost. That was a huge loss. They can't afford to lose this football game, or things tighten up significantly. Because I don't think they play the Lions. I think they play the Lions 2 of the last 3 weeks.
So who the Eagles playing again?
The Eagles are hosting. They're hosting Buffalo. So I'm gonna go with
Buffalo. I go Buffalo.
I'm going Eagles. I think the Eagles gonna come out and take this win.
Yep.
Take this win here. What you say, Lou? You said Buffalo too.
Fly Eagles fly.
Fly Eagles
fly. Then we got the Bears versus the Vikings. Who y'all got taking that game?
I got Josh Dobbs. I got the solar guy.
Yeah, he needs a bounce back game. Game. But the Bears have looked good. Bears have played well. I'm gonna go with the Vikings.
The Pastronaut. Yes, the Bears. The Bears. I mean, when they have fields, they seem like they put up numbers, but they gave that game away. You know, Detroit played 2 bad games in a row. They were down in that game to the Bears 26-14. There was like 4 minutes left in that game, and somehow the Bears gave it away. So I think Jefferson will be back this week, so they'll be at full strength wide receiver wise. So hey, let's do it. Let's go.
All right.
You got the Bears?
Skull.
I got the Bears. I got the Bears taking this, and I got the Jefferson sitting out again with a mystery hamstring injury to come over here with the Chiefs next year. That's why I'm going to see what's going to happen. But I got the Baltimore Ravens against the Chargers. Who y'all got there?
I think it's the thing. I think the Chargers are up against it. I think if they lose this football game, they're going to lose their head coach. If they don't win this football, no, actually, I want them to stay. But if they lose this football game, I mean, their season is completely over. They have any slim chance of any kind of respectability or to keep the band together. They have to win this game. The Ravens, like I said, they're entering the toughest 6-part. They got 6 tough games to end the year. This is numero uno. The Chargers do play very well at home. Not having Bosa is gonna hurt quite a bit. But I just got a feeling the Chargers are gonna win this game. I'm still not sold on the Ravens, guys.
I think to me, I like Herbert. I like Jackson. I feel like the Baltimore's. I'm gonna edge you with Baltimore because of the defense. I think the Baltimore has a better defense. So I'll go Baltimore.
That's no question about that.
Chargers games typically come down to a field goal. The spread is 3.5. This will be in my best bets as well. I'm going to take the points with the Chargers, but Baltimore wins by 3.
Oh, okay.
Give me that half point.
I got the Chargers taking this game. I think they're gonna come out and they're gonna blow out the Baltimore Ravens. I feel like it's gonna happen. Nothing against the Baltimore Ravens. I think they're gonna blow them out.
Man, said a blowout. He didn't say a win. He said a blowout.
I feel like it's gonna happen. But again, we got the last game for the best. You know what I mean? The Chiefs versus the Raiders. Everybody's on here know who we're gonna pick.
Chiefs.
It's gonna be the Chiefs. It's gonna be the Chiefs. Everybody picking the Chiefs.
Nah, man, it's Kansas City because if any given Sunday and some stuff just magically happens, then the Raiders
ain't gonna be this Sunday. That's all I can say.
If MVS is on the field, it might be.
No, it's not gonna be this Sunday.
Before we close out, let's give a shout out to our sponsors, Nick.
All right. First and foremost, Dave Purdy with Supreme Lending. If you're looking to get a mortgage, refinance your house, whatever it might be, give Dave a call at 816-405-5831. If you're looking to consolidate some debt, there are a lot of loan options available, even if you got a low-interest mortgage. 30% credit card debt is still 30%. Give Dave a call at 816-405-5831 or hit the QR code and just put your information in. Dave will give you a call. We like Dave because he is pretty good.
So let's go into the next one.
All right. And then Eric Haynes from the Eric Haynes Real Estate Group. Give Eric a call at 816-729-3785. Email eselskc@gmail.com. If you're looking to looking for a new house, looking to sell your house, relocating to another city, or have Chiefs fans who live elsewhere that want to sell their house, let Eric advise you first. He can find a local realtor for you, make sure you're taken care of. But it doesn't matter if you're looking for a small house or a mansion. Eric's your guy. Call him at 816-729-3785.
All right, guys.
Sells KC, baby.
Right, you know what to do. Go ahead and give it a shout out.
All right. Well, let's get right into it. Kareem, aka Joe Delaney. What up? What up? Love the comments, my guy. Who we got? Brian Frazier. Brian Frazier with the love. Appreciate it again, Brian. And remember, guys, the more love you show, the more we give back, guys. So again, appreciate the love.
But that's it, guys.
I got one thing. I got an announcement to make. I want to announce on we got a new contributor coming on board. Mr. Aaron Wilson, NFL Insider, is going to be doing a segment with us every Tuesday, and we're going to talk around the NFL. I've known Aaron for probably 35 years. I've probably worked with him the longest of anybody. He's a good dude, good friend. We've spent a lot of time together. He's agreed to do a weekly segment with us going forward, which will be on Tuesdays every week. So welcome aboard, Aaron Wilson.
Welcome, Aaron Wilson. Welcome.
Aaron. Let's go.
Aaron.
All right, guys.
Let's go, Chiefs. Let's get this ball back on the roll. All right, guys.
All right. We'll be back on Monday, guys. Everybody have a great weekend. Enjoy the rest of your holiday. As soon as we're done, I'm putting up the Christmas tree. So it's Christmas time around the
touchdowns this weekend.
Yeah, touchdowns and Christmas trees.
Come on, get in the end zone.
And we're gonna be a lot of fours up. Okay, let's go.
All right, you got it. Peace out, everybody.
All right, we out.